By the time you guys see this video, I'll be gone. And that sounds super scary, and it is, and that's okay. And that's what I'm learning, is to be okay with the fear of the vast amounts of unknown. I'm currently filming this video months before I leave the United States, and I don't know exactly where I'm going. I don't know exactly what it all means for me. I don't know if it works out. And it's exciting, it's terrifying. I'm filming this right after getting laid off from my job. I am filming this on a camera from that day job that I have to return in 2 days. And this is my secret Q4 goal I've been talking about on my channel with my 185 Insane challenge, is that by the end of this challenge, my hope had been to be in Canada. My goal was to end this challenge in a brand new country, having pre-made this video in advance, and I had thought that I had secured work that would allow me to cross the border, and it was not related to that. I got that approved a year and a half ago, if not almost 2 years ago, to be working for the company that I was working for and to live in a different country, and they were actually really excited about it, and most unfortunately we never got to that point. But this isn't a boohoo I lost my job video, even though it's very fresh in my mind as I'm filming this. I'm sure by the time I edit and get this uploaded, it will be hopefully a distant funny story. But the funnier story is that yes, I left the United States, and yes, the title of this video is probably going to be something like I fled the United States, and in reality that is kind of true. My intention had been to just move abroad. I am a dual citizen, so my hope had been to just move back to where my father was from. And in reality, now I have to expedite that entire process as quickly as possible. I was already in the middle of it. Again, I was planning to go in November, and I think it's going to be quicker than that as I'm filming this video. And what does losing my job and everything else have to do with that? Well, the reality of the situation is that in the field that I work in, which is marketing, there is nothing for me to apply for down here. There's no way for me to get work down here. And frankly, I have found other opportunities, and I have currently at least one really, really good reference from my CEO for working up in Canada with someone he knows. I don't know if I'll ever actually even apply to that job when I'm filming this video, mostly because I don't desire to work for anyone else ever again, because I simply don't like the idea of my livelihood being in someone else's hands. And in reality, I think that's what it comes down to in terms of why I've never felt so comfortable living in the United States, and why my goal since I was very young was always to leave. The reality was always that I never meshed well, let's just say, with the US and with so many things that were happening here, not let alone with the current political upheaval. I no longer felt safe for a long time. I no longer felt safe during the Orange Turd's first administration. And I can see a lot of the signs of where this place is going. But at the very least, if I'm going to be working my ass off, if I'm going to be fighting for a place, if I'm going to be trying my hardest to build something in a life that I want to live, I might as well live the life that I've always intended to live, which never was here. It was never the intention to stay here, even as long as I have. I was planning to be out and about and in Canada by the time I was 19, 20 years old, and that just wasn't the journey that life had for me. So now I have pivoted, and when you guys see this video, I will already be gone. I will already be in a different country. I will already be living, working, etc. somewhere else. I'm already in the process of doing all of these things, and losing my job just expedited it exponentially because I cannot afford to get stuck where I currently am. I am not ready to give up on my 6 months to change my life journey. I'm not ready to stop doing what I want to do simply because of political happenings. I'm not willing to put my life on pause just for the sake of convenience. I feel like I did that a lot with my job that I had for the past 3 years. And I was excited to start it at first, and you know, there's no shame in anybody who still works there or anything, but at some point it just became, I'm not growing anymore. I'm not learning anything new. It's repetitive. I'm not getting any new projects. I am not growing as a human being, and I am not actually barely able to make ends meet. I had to get a second job for a long time, which also ended up closing. You know, the universe has shown me time and time again, don't settle down here. I have lost basically every IRL friendship that I have ever had down here, either through just slowly stop talking over time, or people moving elsewhere, or people doing horrible, insane shit to me. The universe basically has just been saying, these are all of the foundations you once knew, and none of them are as stable as you thought. And if that doesn't sum up, I think, what 2025 has been saying as a whole so far, I don't know what else does. Yeah, when you guys see this video, I will be elsewhere. I will be not here. I will still be making content, and I'm excited to share with you guys exactly what my life is going to be looking like, because my intention again had been to immigrate to move in a 6-month fashion after already having submitted all the paperwork. I didn't even start this 6 months to change my life challenge until after I had already submitted all my paperwork, with the idea from the very beginning, when you guys heard me talk about my Q4 goal, that I would be out and about in Canada by November. But it's definitely seeming like in my current trajectory, it'll be way sooner than that. And so I'm filming this video super far in advance just so that I have it on the back burner on this nice camera from my job that just laid me off, that I will be gone. And the next video you see from me, I will probably be in the other country, unless I have a couple more videos that I filmed on this camera. You will see very soon what my life is going to look like living somewhere else entirely. So I know I loved this office and I loved where I moved into, and I made vlogs before I started this challenge of moving in here, and it sucks to say goodbye to it when I was planning to stay here much longer. But that was before the election results, that was before so many things, including get laid off. You know, I think one of the only things that was keeping me attached to the place that I live was the fact that I had a stable job that at least was paying the bills. And now that's not the case, and I can't even afford where I live. So even this is a temporary fixture that I had to say goodbye to, and I'm accepting that, and I'm very excited for what the universe has in store for me next. I hope you guys are too, and that you follow along for the journey, because we're not stopping here. There's still several more months until the end of this challenge, and I'm so excited to share more of it with you guys. I am very nostalgic for things that are still here, and I am looking forward to sharing all of the new things that I'm very excited for. Hopefully, I get to post this video and nothing, knock on wood, catastrophic happens in the meantime. Yeah, I'm just pouring all my hope into this video as someone who's still here, as someone who doesn't know what a future holds. I hope that future me is smiling looking at this video and is so excited for where we ended up, because I think the universe has said, hey, it's time for you to be a full-time author like you always said you were going to be. Hey, it's time for you to do freelance like you said you were always going to do, and open your own business. And it's going to be in Canada where you always wanted to live since you were a little girl, hearing your dad talk about hunting for the Ogopogo in Kelowna and going and hanging out with the Hells Angels in Calgary, and you freaking getting abandoned on an island off of Vancouver. Like, my dad had crazy, insane stories about growing up in Canada, and I have been doing research and doing my due diligence about everything I need to do to get to this new place in my life, and it's always felt like this is where I'm actually supposed to be, and that here is definitely not. So I'm excited to finally make that plunge, to finally go and live my life according to my own means, and all of the exciting things that means for this channel and for everybody who followed along with my journey so far. I hope you guys are very excited about this new big Q4 which doesn't seem like it's going to be happening in Q4 video that I'm putting out right here. And that if you feel called to do something, this is your sign to do it. If you feel called to leave, if you feel called to stay, if you feel called to upheaval your entire life and start fresh, I think that it's probably one of the most freeing things I've ever done, and I haven't even done it yet when I'm filming this video. So say bye to the office for me. And future Jenna, I hope you're so happy. Catch you guys in the next one, so bye.
Blue dude, blue moon, kinda mysterious, shaded with someone I'm not really into. Do you need to fix it? Talking bullshit.